So here's the tea. I went from working multiple jobs at one time, door dashing, you name it, I tried it, and still not really being able to pay my bills, to currently having up to 6-figure months. What rich people won't tell you is a lot of this is mental. It's not about being a hard worker and literally digging your own grave so that like you can't enjoy your life. No, honey. Rich people are in Turks and Caicos enjoying their life. So let me put you on. I don't care if you believe in this or not. I don't get a cookie. I don't get a reward if you do. I'm just trying to give you the keys to the car. If you want to drive it, that's fine. And I'm just telling my personal story. So whether you vibe with this concept or not, totally up to you, but at least you have the information and you can do with it as you will. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name's Bria. If you're new here, thanks for joining. I hope this is super helpful for you guys. On Instagram stories, when I was doing a Q&A, I kind of mentioned how an abundance mindset has changed so many areas of my life. That sparked up some conversations and questions, so I wanted to deep dive into this for you so you get a better understanding. Before we dive into what an abundance mindset is, I just want to touch on the law of attraction because personally, I think they go hand in hand. Both of them have a lot to do with the mindset. With law of attraction, the gist is what you put out energetically is going to come back to you. I strongly believe in that. If you want to learn more about the law of attraction, there are plenty of YouTube videos out there already, but I would also recommend looking into the movie or the book called The Secret. Really good introduction to the whole concept behind law of attraction.
How it works is basically, according to quantum physics, everything in the world is made up out of atoms, and atoms all vibrate at a certain frequency. And another part of this is that like energy attracts like energy. So as humans, our vibration is based on how we feel. So if you're in a really good mood, you're really happy, that means you're vibrating at a really high frequency. And if you're in a bad mood, you're upset, you're sad, that kind of thing, you're vibrating at a lower frequency. So if you look back, you might notice that on days you're feeling really good, it seemed like everything was working out for you. And on days you're in a bad mood, it seemed like things kind of kept going wrong, or you were thinking about something a lot and then all of a sudden it appeared in your life. This is because you were attracting these experiences based on the level that you were vibrating. So to take advantage of this, start thinking about what it is you want to have and specifically what you would feel if you already had it, because that's what's going to put you on the same frequency of that thing, and that's when it'll appear in your life.
You have to kind of acknowledge that a lot of that has to do with your thoughts and what you think and your belief. An abundance mindset isn't just about money. It's like a lifestyle, okay, if you will. It can be applied to any area of your life that you feel lack in, or it could just be a general habit that you develop and learn how to use.
Abundance mentality essentially means that you say no to things that aren't in alignment with you because you have the confidence that this will neither be the first nor the last opportunity that you get. If you believe in the more spiritual and astrological things, I feel like this really sunk in when I realized that I could start saying no to things and I could trust my own intuition about what was right for me, because I actually got an astrology reading done. Before I went and spoke to him, I sat down for 3 months and I was like, what do I actually want out of my life? What feels the best for me, the most right for me? And in that practice, I kind of realized when people are like, there's so many options, there's so many things you can do. Actually, there are not that many options, because if you really sit with yourself and you really think about what you want and what you're good at, the options narrow down. So when I spoke to him, I was really surprised to find that a lot of what he was saying in terms of like timing, career, personal life, whatever, so much of it lined up, and it's all things that I genuinely thought would be the best fit for me. It also just feels better to live a life that's meant for you rather than what society prescribes to people.
To make things really clear, I'm going to use money as the prime example because that is really how I learned about an abundance mindset. But that said, you can always use an abundance mindset for any area of your life you feel lack. Relationships, love, your well-being, your mental health, happiness. Like, you can use this in any area. So do not box yourself in here. So it's called an abundance mindset for a reason, because it has a lot to do with your mindset. And off the jump, you'd probably think, well, of course, like, I want all the things, I want money and all these things. But yeah, we all do. But you have to go a little bit deeper. You have to go to the subconscious part of your mind, which is really hard to do. And you have to tap into these things that are like buried. You have to go back to your childhood, relive the trauma. I'm sorry, yes, it's hard. You have to relive some difficult situations you went through because those were key moments in your life that created the current narrative you have. So I'm gonna give you an example of myself, right? When I was rewiring and trying to get to the root of my money issues on a subconscious level, I had to go back to childhood. I had to go back to baby B and be like, what's up? What you doing? We gotta heal you so that I can move on. And that's really what it took. So there were moments in my childhood I had to remember these little phrases that I kept hearing that might have not come from a bad place from anyone that was saying them around me, but they were seeds to me and they grew and they formed my beliefs. So for example, I'm sure you've heard this one too, money doesn't grow on trees, okay? Which interprets to, me that it's scarce, that there isn't enough for everybody, that you have to work really hard to have money and be happy and be rich. I also heard things like, we don't have McDonald's money. And like when McDonald's has a 99-cent menu, I created beliefs off that even when I was super young because we're really smart when we're kids too. We connect the dots. Just being around family members or friends who felt stressed by money. They didn't even have to say it sometimes, but on an energetic level, you like feel their anxiety and their tension because we're all to some degree empathetic beings. I love my mom, but I know she did not like looking at her bank account. And so if the law of attraction is true, if you're scared of money, money's scared of you. So why would it want to come in your bank account? You need to be welcoming it. You need to be thanking it. You need to be like sending it love. So these are the things that I had to start being aware of, right? And it was really hard for me to do that. It was probably the hardest part of this whole process was going back and rewriting my narrative. I had terrible beliefs around money, but a lot of us do. It doesn't just come from the people we're surrounded by. It comes from movies, songs. It comes from so many different things that we don't consent to, technically, but they just imprint on us. Once I had gone through the whole trauma, reliving these things, I sat down and took a piece of paper, folded it in half, and on one side, I went off. I wrote down every single fear that I had surrounding money. It was very difficult. It was very hard. It felt very yucky, but I had to be really honest. I'll give you a few examples of things I wrote down. I wrote down that I thought the only way to make money is if you work really hard. That's not true. Yes, hard work is a part of the equation, but it is not everything. And like, please don't fall for that one because the amount of like filthy rich people I've met are not living like this. They have people working for them and they don't think like that. They don't. They make money in their sleep. They literally fart and make a lot of money. Another belief that I had, which it gets deep, like even based off of who you are in society, as a Black woman, as a Black child, I didn't see a ton of Black wealth around me. So I thought, well, because I'm Black, I'm not going to get these things and these privileges. So that was another thing I wrote down that was hard to address. I also wrote down that I wasn't worthy of having money. I didn't think I deserved to have money. When you start writing this list, like I think you kind of break this barrier and it just starts flowing out of you and it's like, holy shit, I didn't realize I was thinking all these things and not verbalizing them or knowing where they came from. When you start to realize where these negative thoughts and beliefs come from, you can start to change them. So don't be afraid of facing them head on. Write that shit down, okay? So I had a whole list of all these fears and my beliefs around money. I flipped that paper over, okay? Flipped that paper over and I began to rewrite my narrative. It's my fucking narrative. It's your fucking narrative. Nobody gets to tell you what your story is. It's your life, okay? So you get to rewrite how you want it to be. So for example, whatever the fear was, I would write the complete opposite on the other side of the paper. I had on there that I hated looking at my bank account. I was scared to look at my bank account because I feared there would not be enough. So the opposite of that on the right side of the paper is I love looking at my bank account because I know I always have money. You start to rewrite this and then you have a completely new side of the paper with positive beliefs around whatever it is that you felt lack around. From there, what you're gonna do is put it into action. You're gonna look at that right side of your paper 3 times a day, when you wake up, at lunchtime, when you go to sleep, because it's true. Repetition is everything. Just like when you go to the gym and you start working on your physical body, do you see progress overnight? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You have to keep going to the gym. You have to keep working on yourself. It takes repetition, it takes consistency. And especially if you have these deep beliefs, like I did, where it was tied to like my worthiness, I had a lot of work to do. Some of that took more than just looking at a piece of paper, repeating to myself these things. It took therapy, it took other shit. It was dark, it was hard, it was not fun. A lot of you aren't gonna wanna hear this, but I'm gonna be real with you. We all have different levels of work we're gonna have to do. Some of you might be able to get this overnight, and that's great. I'm happy for you. But some of you aren't. And I was one of the people who didn't do this overnight. You guys have been following my journey. Some of you know how long it's taken. It's taken years, right? That's besides the point. Eliminate time from your mind. Don't worry about the time. Worry about the work. We all have different levels of trauma. We all came from different situations. We all have different roles in society. So, you know, for example, when I say roles in society, I mean like not only do we have to worry about like the families we come from and the situations we grew up in, but also who you are in society. Like when I mentioned earlier, being a Black woman added a layer to this situation for me. And I had to rewire how I looked at myself in society because I didn't think my Blackness allowed me to get to a certain point because I had barely seen it. The only wealthy, rich people I was exposed to was like Oprah, okay, and there's only one of her, so it's like, I'm gonna shoot for the moon, I guess, but also it's like, I only saw really like singers and athletes and rappers. Can I just see like a rich Black person? I didn't see it. You have to rewrite your story. It doesn't matter if you've seen this shit or not. You be the first then. It took patience, it took consistency, but I was dedicated to it. If you're having trouble being consistent, it's probably because you don't have a good reason why yet. If you just want money to flex on your friends, don't do this, okay? Who gives a shit what your friends think about you, okay? What do you want to do this for? What kind of change do you want to have in the world? Who do you want to help? My reasons why are so much deeper than flexing on the gram, which is why like I don't really talk about this stuff. I don't talk about money because I don't care for people to know. The only reason I'm talking about money is because I want to help other people break through this toxicity, like this toxic mindset that was put on us for no reason. My why is you guys, but my why is also my family. And you guys are seeing that. Like I literally just announced AJ is quitting his 9-to-5 job to work full-time with me. Like this has been a goal for so long because him leaving his corporate job is more than just him joining me. It's like we get freedom. We get to decide what our work life looks like. We get to decide if we want to take a trip and work from wherever the fuck, we get to do that. We create our life. And I think a lot of people, their desire to have more money isn't just to have more money. It's often tied to freedom. It's often tied to just like getting your life back. And that's what it is for me. I want to put my family on. I want to make sure my family's good. I want to create generational wealth. My reasons are deep. So sit down and think about your reasons why before you even go into all this stuff on why you want to do it, because the inner work is going to slap you sideways. It's going to shake you, it's going to rock your world, and it's going to make you really feel uncomfortable. But what kept me focused and what kept me grounded was that I had too many reasons why I could not give up on myself or the people I want to help. So once you rewrite your narrative, we have to put action behind it. I want to be very clear about this. When I say put action behind it, start to think in the way that you want to eventually become, if that makes sense. Broke bitch Bria, okay? She behaved in a way that did not energetically align with millionaire Bria. What would the wealthy version of myself do in this situation? Small example that made a huge fucking difference was looking at my bank account. I used to feel myself get nervous when I needed to check my credit card statement. I used to feel myself get tense, get scared. My heart would start beating, my hands would start sweating, and that's your body telling you, like, we fear this thing, right? So I had to literally sit there. One day I opened up my bank account and I just sat there and I stared at it and I imagined what it would feel like to look at my bank account and see X amount of dollars. I was very specific, be specific, okay? I sat there, I stared at my bank account, but this isn't like a wish upon a star thing. The purpose of that exercise was to let me tap in energetically to what a wealthier version of myself would feel like. So then, you know, I could be specific. I could go back and write down in my journal how I want my bank account to make me feel and be very specific about those feelings. Feelings are so powerful. It's more powerful in my opinion than saying like, I am rich, I am statements. Feeling it and putting your energy out into the universe is like insanely powerful. And I have seen things, my circumstances change very quickly when I can get there on an energetic feeling level, if that makes sense. I would sit there, I would force myself to not fear my bank account. Another tip that really helps me with that is gratitude. Seeing what I did have in those moments of what still kind of felt like lack is also powerful, y'all. Gratitude sends out such a good vibration, and when you're feeling down and you can tap into gratitude and what you do have and being content, it cancels out the lack, in my opinion. I don't have proof, but I can just tell you that when I tap into gratitude in my darkest times, I quickly change the situation. Quickly. So whenever you are feeling some kind of way, whether it is about a person, whether it is about a circumstance, your bank account, your mental state, whatever, sit there and think about like 3 things that you are genuinely grateful for, because I promise you, your life is not as terrible as you think. You are focusing on the negative parts, so you are going to continue to see the negative grow. Whatever you are fixated on is going to grow. Okay? Even if you have one thing to be grateful for, focus on that shit. Put all your energy on that. Let that grow. When you see good, more good comes to you. One of my followers messaged me and she's like, is this like fake it till you make it? And I was like, you know what? Yes and no. Because no, I am not telling you to go out and spend $10,000 on something you don't need. Because I don't necessarily believe wealthy people would do that. That's kind of stupid. When you don't have money, you don't spend money. I'm not telling you to spend money you don't have and get yourself into debt. Your higher wealthy self wouldn't do that. But just the way your higher wealthy self walks through life would be different, right? Gratitude, like I said, is everything. I would make transactions, and I know I even used to be like nervous when I would go to Starbucks. Okay, get $3 drink, hand in my car, I bet, ooh, I hope I have money. But what is that energy? So what I did instead was when I would pay for stuff, I would just say, thank you God, thank you universe for this coffee, thank you for this. Gratitude, baby. The last thing I'm gonna say about this whole thing is be patient. You cannot fool the universe. You cannot fool God. You will get what you are asking for when you are ready for it. If you're not receiving it, it's not time. There could be a lot of reasons though. It doesn't just have to be that you're not ready. It could be that maybe you have some people in your life that need to go before you get these blessings. It could be a lot of reasons. Make sure your circle is clean. Make sure these people aren't bringing you down, aren't energy suckers. Make sure they're not taking more than they're giving to you, okay? I know that can be hard, but sometimes we don't receive the blessings we have till we clear ourselves energetically from the people who are around us. So be patient and know that everything happens at the right time for you, and just trust in that. Also remember, whatever you think is your reality is your reality. So you have got to change what's going on in here to see it here. I love you guys. I hope this helps. I'll see you next week.